let's do this. I won't have any music tonight. Doing a flight with the AS-33, the new AS-33 from GotFriends. So I've tried it. I was in the beta testers group. So I tried it a few times, but I think it's kind of the first time I'm gonna be flying the release version and trying out the new stuff that I didn't try. I'm gonna try to show the full airplane. It's such a cool glider. So let's go into free flight. So here you have the 15 meters and the 18 meters version. We're gonna be flying the 18 meters tonight. So let's go and configure. So this version is especially made for 2020, but it is fully compatible with 2024, and there will be a new version coming out after Microsoft releases SU3 of 2024, because they are fixing some bugs, and GotFriends need this version to release the specially made 2024 version of the AS-33, where there will be even more features that are native to 2024 that you don't have in 2020. But this one really is already very cool, very great. So yes, let's go into delivery, and we're gonna take, of course, we're gonna take the Wisdom Glide livery. Pretty cool of them to have include Wisdom Glide livery there, and also the Soaring Diamonds Club. So we have, oh well, you know what? Let's take the Soaring Diamonds Club tonight. It's pretty cool. So we're gonna take the Soaring Diamonds Club, and we're gonna look at the launch method. So I'm gonna use, you know what? We're gonna try the Wilga again. They are including the Wilga and other stuff also. I think they are including some pretty crazy stuff like the Cyber Winch truck and stuff like that with the AS-33. But let's go with an Aerotow and the Wilga. I'm gonna try the Wilga tonight. With fuel and payload, we're gonna do that inside the sim, and yeah, that's about it. Now let's go back. So I have a flight tonight in Norway. So let's set this up here. We're gonna take off from Sandane in SD and Sandane, really up north in Norway in the fjords there, shores, and we are taking from runway 08. So ENSD runway 08. We're gonna, I'm loading the flight plan through the NB21 logger, so that's why I'm not loading anything here. It's all messed up still with the EFB in 2024. It doesn't properly load the flight plan, so the only real good way to do it is through the NB21 logger. So I have it already running, and the flight plan is already loaded into the NB21, the logger. So it's gonna transmit to the glider. Avionics is gonna transmit the flight plan. It's pretty cool this way to do it too. Makes it a lot easier. Okay, so we're flying also on July, I think it's July 28th. Set up this task. It's July 28th at, I think it's 2 o'clock. We're gonna set it to 2 o'clock. Wait, I'm gonna just double check to make sure. Yeah, it's 2 o'clock on July 28th. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Exactly 2 p.m. and the weather is Sandane, Geiranger, 209. Okay, I think we're all set up here. Player, Okay, let's save this. And let's double check. ENSD runway 8. Let's go fly. Hopefully there won't be a crash. I'm all alone tonight, so there shouldn't be a crash with the multiplayer. We've been experiencing that also with SU2 lately, when we are a bunch of us loading up in the same airfield, it crashes. But here we're all okay, looks like it. So I'm gonna just click on ready to fly here, and then I'm gonna switch to my VR station, and I'll be back in just a minute or so. Hopefully this works. Yay, I think it works. Oh yeah, I'm looking at my cable. My VR cable is now installed properly. Let's enter again. Okay, let's set this thing up. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool aircraft. You've got a whole lot of systems included in there. All the flap system here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Best glide ratio is at flaps 4 at 80 knots, and then neutral, takeoff, and 5 and 6 in landing, of course. So, yeah, pretty good choice. We have the spoilers here, retracting properly. Gonna just double check here. My batteries are there. We're gonna check out the weight. What I do is I usually do this to see. I already. Oh, that's okay, I guess. Should be a bit more, but I want mine. So let's go see. So you have this map. This is a main screen of the LX9070, and everything in here is configurable. You can configure it every way you want. Just switch pages with this knob here. This is the task page, and then you have this, which configures everything on the LX9070 itself. You can display lots of information about the current waypoint, waypoint +1, next waypoint, the finish, or general information. You just click, you remove stuff, you add stuff. It's pretty cool, pretty intense. And here you have every other instruments you can configure. So it goes from, this here is the vario. It starts there, vario. So we could select something else, and then it goes to the airspeed here, and the ACD7 here is the radio, and next one is the LXV, the vario, the other vario with the mech ready and stuff like that. And then you have the compass, and you have the altimeter. So you can just click on anything and you can reconfigure it any way you like. Oh, that's pretty cool. Very, very cool. And then you have the aircraft settings. You can have headphone simulations, which you can also activate here. So it dampers the sound like you are when you have headphones in an airplane. Contamination is off right now, but if I put it on, then with time, the wings will accumulate some grime and some bugs, and it will affect drag over time. So you need to be careful. You have the bug wipers, which I'll demonstrate a little later, but I'm going to leave it to off for now. You could and it's a state saved thing. So, you know, in between flight, it could accumulate and accumulate. If you never wipe out the bugs and the grime, you'll see a lot of drag added. Flight stick visibility, of course, you can remove the flight stick in 2D. It's practical, but in VR you can just, you know, you can just go and look at it yourself. So I'll leave it on, of course. Canopy tint here. Look at the canopy, and I can remove the tint here. Hope you see the difference. I like it with the little tint here. You have an oxygen system. It's removed right now. I don't plan on flying too high, but yeah, it would install, and it. I don't remember if it does anything to you actually, but yeah, it's cool. The yaw string, of course, very necessary indicator here to know to see if you are flying with the wind, to align with the wind and not creating extra drag. So, but you can remove it. I don't know why you would do that. And the flarm displays here, you can completely remove it like this, but you can also just turn it off. It's right, in VR it's a little harder. You have to be really precise, on and off. So this is, you know, a proximity aircraft. It will show you, it will sound beep when there is an aircraft in proximity. When you are getting towed, it's pretty annoying because there is an aircraft in front of you, so it's beeping all the time. So I'm gonna leave it installed. I'm gonna turn it off. Then you have the adverse yaw. Oh my God, it should be at 100%. I forgot to set it back to 100%. I'll show you, maybe if I think of it, I'll show you what this does. But basically, in a glider, when you start rolling right, the nose actually goes left because of the wing, the land of the wing, and all it creates some drag and lift on the other side. So the nose will go left instead of right. So you really need to use your pedals to you got to start the turn with the pedals, actually with the rudder. So this is 100% is the full realism. So people, oh shit, of course, oh, we're gonna take off, guys. I just moved my and this is what I was afraid of. I don't know why. I'm gonna just release that. In a lot of places, the airplane just won't take off correctly. I don't know why. We're going to use a winch, and it's going to be okay. So yeah, the way to tell the glider, the tow plane to start is by wiggling your rudder, and that's what I just did to show you the adverse yaw. But okay, you have the brightness here, ballast level, and that's what I was wanting to adjust here. So okay, avionics brightness, I leave it there, and then ballast level, we're gonna put this to until I have the limit, like here. Okay, almost the limit, just a little bit more. There you go. I'm at the limit now. 1,322 pounds, that's the limit. Okay, I can close this. And yeah, that's about it. If I go to the other page, this is the global settings, where you can also select the units, the climb units, either in knots or meter per second, speed units in knots here, altitudes in feet. I want my distance units in kilometers, and my temperature in Celsius. And you can have the light or the dark theme here. You can request launch here. Request launch will bring back the tow plane. Multiplayer tow, if there was someone, a multiplayer aircraft flying with me, I could request, but I'm going to use the internal, which is with this SD card. But let me just go back and finish the preparation. So this is my map. You have, of course, track up, north up. You have a few things, the zoom and stuff like that, next waypoint, stuff like that, of course. Regular stuff that you would find on the LX90, 70. Then you have anti-collision lights, and I believe, oh, even, yeah, the canopy defrost works. So if you were getting frost in the cockpit, you just open this and it will start to, and you're gonna hear it. There are so many things on this thing. You can select which battery is recharging, which battery you are running on. This is the engine. I'm gonna go over that later. What else? You have, yeah, the ballast dumping system is there. I have a key map. Oh, and this is pretty cool. Look at that. You can even adjust the quantity of air. And if I think of it during the flight, I'll play, because it really varies the wind noise inside the cockpit. Let's close it for now. It is pretty cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just bring up the map. The SSC tracker map, which I find essential here. I'm gonna center myself, and I'm gonna make it a little bigger and put it right on my lap here. Little adjustment, and that's it. That's what I want. Okay, the trim, of course, and the gear, and I think we're all set. So let's go. We're gonna use the internal winch. Oh, let me close the menu. We're ready. Okay, so we pushing this SD card out. The quick winch system, the internal system, comes in, which is old. This has always been in with the first Discus 2C. The GotFriends had this internal quick winch stuff, and you just go and you connect. Now you select the winch distance, the speed, all right, that you want, and when you are ready, you click launch, and it will launch you, and you got to be ready. And here we go. Yeah, now it's kind of winching out of the lake, but I chose 2,000 meters, so it's normal. And you try to follow the curve and release when you are at the top of it. And that's it. Now, gear up, and we're going to use the engine. So I have all of this prepared. You have to get it out like this. Then you click the starter and you give it some throttle. And there you go, you have an engine. Now on this test, the wind is coming from my side, it's coming from there. It's coming, so we are going east. It's coming, yeah, from the south, I think. And my start is on the other side. So we're going to use these mountains. Let's just try. I don't really need the engine right now because I'm going to have plenty of lift on this mountain. But I just wanted to show you this cool looking airplane with the engine and all. So it's pretty cool, right? And see, you can hear the vario right now. So I set mine to hear it all the time, negative or positive, so you know when you are getting or losing, when you're in sync, or if you are in a big lift situation. So let's go this way, and I think I'm gonna already, yeah, you can hear the vario. I'm gonna close the engine already. You can see the shadow there, and once it's stopped, you just stow it back. That's it. Now your glider again, once again. Now, I took off with flaps 1. Should be at least neutral. Slow down a bit and try to gain some height here. The maximum on this task, the maximum height is 3,500 feet. We're already showing 21, so let's climb. Let's climb. Let's continue to climb. We're gonna turn and use the ridge to climb. Oh no, I did set, I think I changed my setting so that when it's negative it doesn't sound, which is not bad. It could be flaps 5 right here. Yeah, the wind is coming straight from there, so it blows across the ridge here, so it takes me up. Not a crazy lift, but so you can hear the beeping, accelerate and going up in tone, meaning that I'm getting more lift. The start is this, you see the line taking me to this little half circle, and the line there, that's the start gate. So you have to respect the maximum altitude here, which is set to 3,500 feet. You don't want to be above that when crossing, and you don't want to be overspeeding also, okay? Because the start won't be valid. You're going to have to restart. I'm going to go just above 3,500, maybe 4,000, and then we're going to not dive down, but descend slowly to the start. So we cross it at 3,500. This task is all ridge. I think there might be some thermal activity, but we're not going to count on them. So see, the ridge stops here, so we're going to stern, and I'm going to start with the rudder, because if I don't use the rudder, and I'm going to show you what would happen if I don't use the rudder. And I'm trying to keep the yaw string in the center, going straight. And it's when you finish a turn, it's the same thing. You should use a bit of rudder on the opposite direction. See, if I start a turn right without touching my rudder, look at the nose. You see? And left, it goes back to the right. Okay? That's the adverse yaw. Let's go again with a left turn. See, my nose is really going to the right. So I really have, if I turn right, I have to add a bit of rudder on the same direction. Same thing on the left, all right? Just a little trick with gliders. Let's climb some more. 3,000. I could have, keep the engine on and accelerate my climb, but I really love to find my own lift and not rely on the engine. Yeah, so in about 2-3 weeks I will be here in for real, taking off from Sandane for my first real life gliding experience. Can't wait to see this landscape for real. We're still getting pretty much good lift, so I'm gonna keep this. But you see, I'm gonna run out of ridge here, so I'm gonna start turning. Never turn in towards the mountain, towards the ridge. Always turn towards the wind. Okay, we're about it at 3,500. Let's keep some more, because we're gonna lose some going there. Just a bit to make sure. Nice area. I'm gonna do one last pass, maybe, or I could jump to this other ridge there and finish. I'm gonna use neutral flaps to begin You accelerate a bit, put the nose down. See, I have my waypoint arrival altitude that is calculated based on my speed, my current vario, and speed to fly and all. I'm not an expert on all of that, but I would try to aim that my waypoint arrival altitude would be 3,500 feet because it's the max. So I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach for this other ridge here. Let's go a little bit on this other ridge and complete before we will be aligned for the start there. So on the other side of the ridge, usually you will find sink. So you will see, and there, sometimes there's a little bit more, and then it will die out. You'll see the vario, the red arrow will go down, and I'm gonna start losing altitude. There you go. You can see. Until I reach the other one, the other ridge, and it will start again. Of course, this ridge lift doesn't extend forever. At some point it dies out. There again. So my waypoint arrival altitude is now above 3,500 feet. But if I start speeding up, it will come down. But let's, you know what? Let's go. We're gonna accelerate, put the nose down, and use flaps 1. You go real faster and faster. And we want to be at 3,500. So you watch the waypoint arrival and you try to aim for 3,500. Now you see, you hear the sink, but we're going to take more lift with this ridge here. We should be okay. We're already below 3,500, so no problem here. So you have to be careful not to go over again when you catch lift here, because there will be lift, pretty sure. We have the wind coming from this side, hitting this ridge here, so we should be getting some lift here soon. Or maybe sometimes it it just doesn't cooperate. But there we go, a bit. We're gonna pass the start anyway, so it's okay. And there you go. Alright, the task is started. It jumps automatically to the next waypoint. There is no restriction on this one. You don't see anything on the title line here, so there's no restriction. Just the size. You have to cross the waypoint. So this glider has also something that I didn't try again yet. Still is the trigger trim they call. So let's see what it does. I click the button. It's supposed to calculate a bunch of things and set the trim accordingly. I'm not touching the stick anymore. Did it move the yeah, it does move the trim. I'm going a bit fast, maybe. Don't need to go that fast. Slow down a bit. Click this button again to see if it trims out at the same speed. Sure does. Wow. Neat. So the thing is, you have to try to see and evaluate where the wind will be. in relation to the contours of the terrain below you and in front of you. Because the whole thing of gliding is trying to stay in the air long enough to come back home. Or in this case, I have a task, so to complete the task. Sometimes you have to slow down to catch the lift. So yeah, I was telling you about the air here. Let's open up this vent. There you go. You hear that? It's nice. You can adjust it. Yeah. Pretty cool. Now if you can control your, fan speed, your real life fan speed based on that would be cool, right? Maybe next. Coming soon. We are in the Soaring Diamonds Club livery, flying every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. New York time. If you want to join us, you are welcome. Alright, I'm about to cross the waypoint, and then we're going on the other side. We're going to use the ridge on the other side then. Slow down a bit and use some of the lift here. As you slow down, you can go up with the flaps. But if you are not in any lift situation, then you want to get out of the, either you want to use the best glide ratio, flaps 4, 80 knots. If you are in sync, you want to get out of it as soon as possible. Let's start the turn here, because I know I'm going to cross the waypoint. There you go. Okay. So yeah, you can configure the display here to display flaps, to display your true airspeed. The task time, the local time is there. Shouldn't be a problem getting some lift on this side, so I'm gonna go and put the nose down a bit and go to flaps 1. Try to go faster here. I don't mind losing a bit of altitude. I think I know we're gonna be fine with this ridge coming up in front. So I'm not turning back the flarm back on, because I know there's nobody, but if you want, you can enable it again. It would sound. Okay, let's demonstrate the bug wipers. So let's say you have the surface contamination and you've been flying for a while. Look at that. I have a switch, and now it goes on the wing. Switch again, and it goes back. And then you've wiped out all the bugs and grime on your wings. Let's see this here. Even the sound, even the sound is there. So I've set up a binding with one button that does both, but in reality, there's actually 2 switches, one for the left one for the right. So I can do it again, and you'll see the switch go up and down. Cool. I'm gonna go catch this bit of a ridge here. You don't usually in glider tasks like that, you are not flying a straight line of the task, you know. You are finding your way around this line so that you are getting the best lift, the best condition possible while going fast. That's why you can go left and right, and sometimes you can go far from it if you want to catch a thermal under the clouds. It's not always straight. Other stuff that you can look for is the waypoint arrival. Here is 2310. It evaluates right now that I would arrive at about 2300 feet, and the waypoint arrival, the waypoint itself is where is it? 2290 above ground. Well, I don't have the altitude of sea level. I could have that, but I don't. But it gives you an idea of how high you will be compared to the waypoint itself. Still have some setup to do, I guess. And of course you can zoom out and zoom in on the map. Good lift here. Slow down a bit. I see the waypoint is on the top of this little of this bump, of this ridge that goes right underwater here. So should be good for the lift on the other side too. Just using flap 2 for a bit and climb. My speed is going down. I'm slowing down, but at the same time trading that for some altitude and in good lift situation, which I've now left. The barrier is not sounding anymore. Well, let's go flaps 1. Get out of here. And by all means, I'm not a real life glider pilot, so I'm probably doing a lot of stuff wrong. I will admit. So no dodging, please. I'll just love it. Just love this. Still learning. Turn a bit to reach the waypoint on the other side and catch the lift. The wind is coming from the other side. You can see the arrow of the wind and the strain. So it's 4 knots wind. It's not really big. 4 knots. Sometimes you are catching like 10, 12, 15 knots of wind, and then if you are in a good situation, good spot across a ridge, you will go up like an elevator. It really feels like an elevator. I don't know in real life, but I assume it because in VR it really feels like an elevator. I was wrong. The waypoint is a little bit further away. Good lift. Here, a bit. Slow down 3. And even Flaps 4. Let's use this. I love the wind. You can hear the wind going down. Calming because I'm slowing down. Power lines going across here, fjord. Okay. Lift has died out. Can start accelerating again. Reach the waypoint. You don't have to be totally centered with the waypoint, of course. You can just cross it just on the edge. As long as you're in the center of the glider, it will count. It will give you a little signal. There you go. So why am I using two maps here? Well, it's just by habit. I think it's I'm used to have the tracker panel open so I can see other gliders in the area. Of course, I would see them also, unless they are not flying the same platform as you could be flying in 2020 or even on a different sim update maybe. But SSC tracker is it would show them all, but it's, you know, and sometimes I want to see further in front of me. It's not exactly the same configuration, and you have the more relief, I think more 3D on this map than on, well, you can select the map, by the way, on the computer. I like this one because it doesn't glitch. The other ones, sometimes they introduce some glitching, some stutters, so I like the default one. Doesn't do that. Lift, slow down, do some flaps, and take it when you can. Next waypoint is further away, 12 minutes, 13 minutes right now. I'm slowing down, and it's higher up, I think. Yeah, the next one, I think it's the one where before we turn towards the Geiranger fjord, most popular fjord in Norway, I think. Most beautiful. We'll see how it looks here. So flaps 4, 80 knots is the best glide ratio. That's where you'll go the furthest without losing too much altitude. You can hear at this tone I'm not gaining much altitude, I'm just stable. Or could slow down, put some neutral flaps instead, and then I would use the lift and gain some more altitude, like you see the altimeter going up now. Flaps 5. Trim, trim, trim. Oh yeah, the trim trigger works amazingly well. I don't have to trim it manually, it just punch the button, it adjusts to the speed you are flying. Okay, that's not bad. I guess it's I want to gain as much altitude as possible. Now see, I don't have lift anymore, so I'm gonna Push the nose down, go into neutral. Flaps. Gain some speed. Oh, there's a trade-off between speed and the altitude you want to gain. Speed up a bit more. Now, I've studied this map. Of course, I designed the test, and I know that the waypoint after this one is even. We're going at the end of the Geiranger. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but fjord, and it goes up, it climbs after that, and we're going to need some altitude. That's why I'm kind of, instead of going in the valley and using the ridge that would be on the mountains right there to my right, I'm trying to use these ones to my left and climb even higher, because I know I'm gonna need the altitude. That's why I'm going slower at the moment, using some flaps, and I'm not at the right. See, oh, that's sync. When the vario goes like that, and you see our altitude drop, and it sometimes it's pretty unpredictable. It becomes a little floppy, and it can go right and left suddenly. You might lose control, go into a stall or even a spin, so you have to be careful with the altitude you have. Not the altitude, the speed. So we should be getting some lift on this one here. So I'm gonna use it. Not that much. Ah, there. Flaps 5 even. Can even go slower, 60 knot. The wind blows straight across this one, perpendicular to this one. Bad. I think I can continue using the next one here. For 80 knots. Let's aim for 80 knots. Trim. Too slow. Isn't she a beauty? Right. And the interior, man, texture is so nice. Everything in this is in this cockpit is details, details, and details. This one will be tricky if I'm not getting sync here. Oh, nice little lake. Dangerous 60 knots. No. Oh wow. Oh yeah, this is pretty neat. This area here. Oh, we have to go over these though. So let's be careful. I'm okay. Yeah, I knew I would be getting some sink in here. The wind is not going exactly my way. I will be fine. Shadow here. Nice. Oh, this is nice. This is not a thermal flight, but my guess is that we could be using some thermals out of these clouds. But they're not really high, but they're black and pretty dense. So upwind, like we are coming right now, we may hear the beeping go up, but I'm not sure if they are big enough. And we are coming on this ridge anyway, which should also give us some good lift. But see here, there's nothing, and it's still beeping. My guess is that it provides a bit, and then it's gone. Like that. Yeah, the Geiranger fjord is right there in between these mountains and from where I'm looking at with the water going there. So that's where we're going after that. And you can see that we're going to have our nose to the wind. We're going to have a good headwind, so we are going to have to be careful where to get the lift. So let's use this one again. Let's try to gain some speed. There you go. So I have a minimum altitude of 4,500 feet for the next waypoint. Minimum. Right now it says I will be at 3,500. So I should try to gain more even before trying to start. But I know we will still get some altitude in this fjord around the left side of the fjord, so we'll try. All right. We'll see. I'm testing out this task anyway, so speed up. This other turn here, this bend that we are going to turn into, will be good, I think. Should be good. You don't have to, minimum is minimum, but you may be higher than that. It will help. Of course, it comes at a price. Speed. Task time. Wow, look at that. That's nice. So you don't go into a straight line, because if you go into a straight line, you would get crazy, sink trying to go over above this lake, because the wind is cut and goes down, straight down. Okay. Still have some good wind, probably. It's turning a bit, but just because it's dying out. The weather on this task has all the wind coming in the same direction. Sometimes you have layers in some altitude, you will have different ugly textures here. Happens sometime. Yeah, you will have different wind direction and strength based on the altitude. You have to be careful about that. Alright, I think we're okay if we don't screw up. Now, headwind. We're going into a headwind, and we need to go above these mountains after we cross the waypoint. That's the most tricky part. That's the most tricky, the leg that is the most tricky on this task. Okay. Well, I'm confident. Let's gain some speed. Much. So this is the Geiranger fjord. Can't wait to be here in real life. Yeah. Okay, we're about to cross the waypoint, and there we go. It's fine. So the minimum on the next one is 5,000 feet. So I kind of built this waypoint to tell you that I should turn and try to use this ridge here. And slow down. we have to cross on the other side and gain altitude. This is a dangerous one to go over. Do I dare try? Watch your speed. It's gonna be tricky. Still good. Comes the bad part. Headwind. Gonna catch some sink here for sure. Not too bad. And then this slope here should offer some on the other side here, so we should be good to climb to our 5,000 feet. We'll see if we do it in one pass or if we need a few passes, 2 or 3. Glide ratio 4, 80 knots. Very desolated land here compared to the green area we were in the fjords. Yeah, let's go closer to this slope. I still have the minimum. Yeah, it's true. I already have 6,600. My arrival height is showing 49, but it's going up right now, and I shouldn't be losing that much going there. So I'm pretty good. I'm confident I'll have my minimum 5,000 when I reach the waypoint. Can be a little bit more aggressive, so I'll push a bit more. Flaps 3, put the nose down a bit, gain some speed. Aim for the ridge, the slope here. Yeah, arrival is showing above 5,000, so I know I will be getting more lift before, so I can even get a little more aggressive, gain some more speed, just to get there faster. Careful balance of what is your current altitude, what is your arrival altitude, predicted arrival altitude, the speed you want to fly. And you see, as I go faster, my predicted arrival has gone down a bit, but not too bad because I'm still gaining lift at some places. Oh wow, nice lakes here. Anyway, we're in July. I set the date to July 28th, and it looks like there's still some ice on the lake. And the waypoint is passed, so I can already turn. Aim for the next waypoint. No altitude restriction on that one. Oh yeah, I remember it's gonna make me enter this other valley, and we're gonna use these mountains, this mountain here, the other side of this mountain to this ridge there, to go fast. I think from here it's not too. We made the most tricky part, and now it's not all speed, but it's going down a bit. We're going to be more comfortable. So, flaps 1, going down a bit. I know I'm going to be okay crossing these mountains. I should be okay if I'm remembering my task correctly. So what else did I want to show? Yeah, my battery, I think I've set it to unlimited fuel, so that's why my batteries are not depleting. They're still at 100%. But of course, they would go down running all these electronics. You have to be careful what you're running, and the engine, of course, if you're using it. Use the electric battery. It's an electric engine. So, but now I think I've set it to unlimited. My bad. Yeah, a lot of stuff displayed everywhere. Pre-flight check, you know. It's really, really cool. A lot of details. Okay, coming up on the waypoint, and we're gonna wait a bit. So we are on the proper side of the mountain. Don't go too fast. You still have to pass these mountains here. this way would be too far left. I want to follow this line here. Yeah. You can already see in front the direction of the ridge and the wind that goes here. It's gonna be a good wind crossing there. So you can go fast. Let's follow it. 100 knots now. I think the VNE on the AS-33. Is this a car moving there? Oh no, it's a tree on the other side. Okay, so we're doing 113 through knots through airspeed at the moment. The VNE is about 153 knots indicated, not indicated true airspeed. The quadrant on the left is the indicated airspeed, so there will be a difference depending on the altitude you are flying. You really be mindful of your true airspeed here. Don't let it go above 153. You'll hear a buzzer come off. Maybe we'll hear it later in the flight. You'll hear a buzzer and an overspeed warning. And oh, good lift here. The longer you stay on this overspeed warning, the more seconds will be added to your task time. It's kind of a penalty for going over speed. In real life, I think it would just put you in a big danger. But in a sim, people can push and don't really mind about going over speed all the time. Then you adjust the track log analyzer will give you penalties. So the deeper you go into VNE and the longer you go, the bigger the penalty you will get. So be mindful of that if you don't want to be too much penalized. Of course, most of us gliding in the community will tell you this is not a race. We're not flying for the race, but in some events, I guess we are. Unconsciously, maybe, but it's fun. So yeah, the next waypoint is the finish. So it's a long way. I set the way to the most furthest point with a few waypoints, but then the way back is just a single waypoint, single line. You have to pick the line you want to come back. Oh, I love it when there's an updraft like this. The feeling on the force feed. I have a Moza AB9 force feedback base joystick, and the feeling just it goes kind of numb, and then it pulls, and you know with the reaction of the glider, you know we're gonna get a big updraft. You get kind of a reverse thing when you are gonna get the sink, so it's a warning. That's where force feedback comes in handy, like this. You see the drop kind of, and I felt it on the joystick before it happened, and that's where sink happened. Because of this big mountain, there's nothing on this side. That's why I'm getting sink. no worries. We have this one and the other one right next on the other side here. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fast. My waypoint arrival mean sea level is 1680, and I know that it's not really high, so it's we have plenty of room to play and to go fast now. That's why I'm flying 135 knots, trying to speed up, but at the same time be careful, because you still need to go over these mountains. The waypoint arrival, the predicted, is something you may have it, but in the way there might be some mountains preventing you from reaching your waypoint. So be advised and study your map. Yeah, I'm gonna cross here. I'm not going to go the long way. I'm gonna try to cut here in between. Should be fine. We have to risk sometime a little bit. It's a sim. Probably not do it in real life. Wow, nice place. What else is there to see in this beautiful bird? The ballast that will empty soon. Oh, there's so much details. I didn't show you that, but when you adjust the ballast and the weight, you can add some weight on the noise and the nose, and you see the actual weight being added down there. You have to. You don't really see it anytime, but they've modeled that. They've modeled the weight that are being added to create that ballast, extra ballast. Just the weight depending on the pilot, and pretty crazy. Okay, concentrate a bit here. You still have this to pass. Wind should be good on this side. Oh, this is definitely something to get, by the way, guys. Go get this bird. For the price, it's really worth it. It's the best glider we can have right now in Microsoft Flight Sim. And like I said, this is a 2020 version, fully compatible with 2024. But in a few weeks, we'll have even more features. And down the line, we're gonna have, you know, the bugs on the wing. They will show up. They will start to accumulate, and then the wipers will clean them up for real. I love it. Okay, trim, nose down. I know we don't have any more trouble in front. Just now be mindful of the V&E. Don't go into too much V&E, or not at all, in fact. So you watch your true airspeed as you trim, and you try to trim for 152 knots, sometimes just below, as close as possible. And with a hand on the spoilers to be ready when there's some situation that will make you go faster, to slow you down, get out of V&E. You really have to watch your speed here. What's the trigger trim here? Oh, still good. It trims for the speed to fly, I think. I'm really not an expert on the mech ready and speed to fly thing. This is something I should learn. Yeah, you can see further away. There's nothing to worry about. I will go around this little pointy thing that is left of the track, and then I'll be home. Trim down again. So I've been flying the task for since the crossing of the start line. It's now 60 minutes 10 seconds to 60 minutes. That's what I'm planning on, and there's still 7 minutes. Time is going down a bit because I'm accelerating. So yeah, that's what the time I was planning for this task, between 60 to 75 minutes. 90 at the very top if you want to take it slow. Once again, I'm not going on a straight line because I know that I would get sink going on this side there. So I prefer to go a little around and get the lift from this side instead, not losing too much. My predicted arrival is going down as I speed up. Sometimes on the finish there will be restrictions, either minimum or even sometimes minimum, sometimes maximum, but more time minimums. That's to prevent people from going too fast also, and crossing the line and not being able to recover and to land. I've slowed down a bit. Wind is coming straight from the left. I should be good with this side of the ridge here. That will bring me home. Let me show you the headset mode. There you go. Like if you were wearing a headset during the flight. Exactly the same thing. Same dampening of the sound. Open up the air. Open up. Oh yeah, of course. They've modeled everything. Like close this totally. Open the vent here, defrost the side window. And I think even, yeah, fully open. Cool. And while I'm doing this, I'm not flying. And of course there's a jettison, which I won't try. It removes the canopy, but the whole cockpit goes away with it. You're flying dart. So here you have to take a choice. You know that you will get sink if you go straight, because there's wind going down that hill, the slope into the water, and there's lift on the other side. But I'm arriving at the finish. I have enough height, and I'm thinking that if I'm not going too far right, I will make it. So I will fly fast and I will cross as fast as I can this part, and we'll see. It's the last little bit that might go bad, then I could have just went around. I'm gonna risk it. You can already hear the vario down 4, -4. It's gonna go down even more, I guess. My altitude will drop, but I'm not far from the finish. 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Let's zoom this a bit. Oh yeah, I feel the stick and it's going down. See? Speed up. It's gonna give us some room to maneuver with the speed. I can definitely feel it pushing. Even a bit more. See how fast I'm going down. Now I have some speed to pull up at the last minute. This is dangerous, but I'm okay. I'm okay. The airport, the runway is right in front of us. I'm not gonna land right away. I want to cross. Dump ballast, you never land with a fully ballasted airplanes or a glider. This is weird. I wasn't expecting lift here. It's beach. Flight sim is some kind of beach. He sees beach everywhere and it creates some lift. Let's cross the line. Dump ballast. I will put up. I will bring up the engine again. Don't take it out too soon because it creates drags. They've even modeled that. Oh, sink. See here? Oh my God, I'm going down now. Ooh, I'm totally on the wrong side, and it's crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. Ooh. It's gonna be okay crossing, and as soon as I cross, dump ballast. So I have my buttons all mapped, and there you go, my ballast. Take out the engine. So you see the water. Push the start. And give it some power. Just to sustain me a bit while I down ballast and I align for landing. And actually, when we took off the other side. So yeah, I think the wind is pretty crosswind here, but I think the right way to land would be from this side of the runway. I think it was runway 08, right? When we departed. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, you can see the lights telling you that it's dumping. So my tip, the tip of the wings are now empty, so they are flashing. Red, I think, yeah. When they are flashing, it just says that it's still emptying, I think, or because they are open but empty. Well, anyway, when it is totally empty, you get a message on the computer. There you go, fully empty. Nothing more. I can close the switch there. It's all green, and then I can prepare for landing. So, slow down. Use some spoiler. Slow me down a bit. Gonna use neutral here first. Gear down. I'm still pretty high, so spoilers to let me go down. Full flaps, landing flaps, and I can even use a bit of a slide here, but I don't have my nose on the wind. It's not the way you should do it. Okay, let's go into a big slip here. Watch your speed. It won't be a very good landing. I'm going to try my best. I was still pretty high. Nope, it's not gonna be a really good landing. As the speed go down, check the spoiler, align more. Oh, not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. Nose to the wind. Brake. Ooh, the nose bump. And there you go. That's it. Parking brake maybe? I think this baby has parking brake. Oh, there you go. I'm all stopped. So what you can see after doing that, you could go into the task page and see completed, task time, my speed, and the logger will have created an IGC file that I can take and upload to wesimglide.org, and it will well, the task right now is not created on WissimGlide, so the task will have to be created, uploaded to WissimGlide. Me, the designer, I will upload it when we're ready to fly it. And when you have the IGC file for a task that is on WissimGlide, you just upload it and it stores it for you with the leaderboard, and you have access to it. You can even put the comment on the task, and it's a cool way to remember who flown this task, and yeah. That's your database, and I think it covers most of the glider. Like I said, it's a beautiful airplane glider, and go get it. GotFriends AS-33 ME. I didn't try the 15 meters yet. Can't wait to see how it is more agile. Yeah. So I'm gonna get out of VR and finish the stream. Thank you for watching. When I'll upload it to YouTube, surely. Okay. Out of VR.